Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Fred Wanko coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Allen TV. Um, Today, we're going to lead with what's been going on around Nigeria, all across the country, the kind of force and the kind of crowds that this Obi Ahmed movement is generating across the country, and also try to touch on our perception that not only are the two major political opponents of Peter Obi not getting the extent to which Nigerians want change and are doing whatever it takes to make that change in February. But unfortunately, the mainstream media in Nigeria, and I'll be soft on them and say not by design, but the mainstream media in Nigeria also doesn't get the force of this movement and the wave. And maybe not by fault of theirs, but because of the society they've become used to. They are still looking at 2023 elections as from a status quo standpoint. They're still looking at it from the standpoint of the trends of what happened in the past. 1960 elections, 1979 elections, 1983 elections, 1999, 2003, all the way to 2019. What I've been saying in my last three videos, and I continue to try to bring to the attention of Nigeria's mainstream media, is that the 2023 elections in Nigeria are not going to follow those trends that they are used to. They have the resources, both human and financial, to hire contemporary polling organizations that understand what could happen in an election where there is a movement that's overwhelming, and how that could throw all the trends that they are used to out of whack. And that's what leads to tsunamic movement type of elections that are called by all the polling places to be too close to call, to end up in a landslide victory for the person who wins, which typically is the candidate that is propelled by the movement. I'm going to lead with two videos, both featuring the same person, Aisha Yesufu. Aisha Yesufu is a lady from Edo State who, by her persona and her pronouncements, you could tell she's an all-around Nigerian, and she's one of Nigeria's foremost socio-political activists. I'm going to play you short segments of two separate videos that she had. And the reason I'm leading with her, because I'm going to follow up with others. But in all the videos I do today, I'm going to stay away from any video that may have been done in the Southeast. The reason I'm saying that is just to show people the extent of support that the Obi Ahmed political movement is getting from all across the country. while the mainstream media is still looking at ancient history as their way of projecting what their two eyes are showing them, and they pretend to be blind and they don't want to see. Let's listen to Miss Aisha Yesufu, and then I'll come back on the other side and explain a few things.
Thank you.
Look, don't argue with anybody that tells you that Peter Obi will not win, or that tries to tell you that, oh, Peter Obi this, Peter Obi. There's no need. The only reason they tell you that they are not supporting Peter Obi is that they think he cannot win. Those ones, it's easy to get them. Don't bother about it. Towards the end of the campaign, by the grace of God, we will have them come over and join, because they will see without any reasonable doubt.
I will say to everyone here, and I'm looking straight at Mr. Peter Obi, we will hold you accountable. We are loyal to Nigeria. We are asking you, we are rallying behind you today, not because we think you are so special, but because we think at this moment that you are the one who have what it takes to take us to that place that we are supposed to be. And we're saying to you, indeed, you must stand for Nigeria. You must fight for Nigeria. You must ensure that the child of nobody becomes somebody without knowing anything. You must know that what we have right now, it's not about just this generation. It's about the people who are yet to be born. And you must ensure that as you go into office by the grace of God, we'll do all we can to ensure that you get that. You're not looking at the people who will praise you today. You're looking at those people that will praise you 100 years from today. The way that Singapore can have a Lee Kuan Yew, we want to have a Peter Obi. The way that South Africa can have Nelson Mandela, we should have a Peter Obi. Don't get into office and be carried away. Don't get into office and forget the people that brought you here. Don't get into office and forget the youth. And I said something. I need to see the office around you change. I need to see more youth around you. I need to see more women around you. I am for me. And I will say it categorically because I see a lot of people who keep asking, I'm not interested in any position. I'm not going to work for you. I will hold you accountable so that you give Nigeria the best that Nigeria deserves. Thank you.
Folks, you heard Aisha Yesufu. Very interesting observation that she made. That she's telling the obedience to just keep their eyes on the prize. The prize is a win in February 2023. And she said, don't worry about people who are not yet obedient. And with confidence, she said, they'll come around. She said, the reason they are not obedient is because they don't think he's going to win. When the time comes, their eyes are going to open. They are going to come around. They too don't have water. They too don't have electricity. They too have their children out of school for the last 7 months. They too have their children who graduated from universities in the last 8 years not working. They don't have jobs, but they did very well in universities. They too are scared of traveling because of kidnappers. They too are scared of moving around the country because of banditry. When you cut them, they too bleed just the way obedience bleed. It's a matter of time. And what she said more or less confirmed what I said about the mainstream media not getting it. They're looking at the trends of the past. They're looking at tribalistic elections where the children went along with their tribalistic parents and voted hunger and suffering for the next 4 years. Nigerian children are now Nigeria's youth. Nigeria's youth are the ones who are angry, and they are the ones who are going to determine what happens in this election. The other thing in the other video that I played of Aisha Yesufu is actually something that is something that the Obi Ahmed campaign really need to pay attention to. At the event where Aisha Yesufu was speaking, I'm led to believe that Peter Obi was in that audience because at a stage she said she was talking directly to Peter Obi. And she said to Peter Obi that we, your supporters, would like to see the optics around you change. God bless Aisha Yesufu. I too have been noticing that. And I don't say it as a criticism of Peter Obi. I also don't believe that Aisha Yesufu is saying it as a criticism. We are saying it as supporters of the obedient movement. Likely not by design, and we know the campaign hasn't started. But still, Mr. Obi has been moving around a lot, around the country, around the world. It seems that at his appearances, looking at the people who seem to be the insiders, there doesn't seem to be a good representation of a cross-section of Nigerians visibly appearing around him. And we know he has those intentions. But we also know that you have to get to Asher Rock to implement your intentions. And if you turn off people by minor things that are not intended, but those people are reading it the wrong way, you may not get to Asher Rock. The way to get to Asher Rock is that everywhere Peter Obi appears, that is formal, there need to be women, youth, and progressive Nigerians all across the country represented at those appearances. If possible, it would even be good as the status quo people start seeing the light, the ones Aisha Yesufu talked about, as they start seeing the light and coming around at the end because they see that this movement is unstoppable, it would be good to also include them so that the optics include people who were against you that are now working with you. God bless Aisha Muhammad for bringing that up at the right time, at the right podium, with the right bullhorn, because I know that the Obi people are going to heed that advice. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this day newspaper had a poll that they published on Wednesday last week, and the headline said 177 days to go. In that poll, they had categories of the winnability of the different parts of the country. And I think they described those categories as likely to win, possible to win, or no chance to win. The likely to win categories were the highest percentage that that candidate will win that state. Possible is that if things go right and one or two things go wrong on the other side, the candidate may win. And I laughed when I looked at those numbers because I know that Peter Obi will do very well in the North and the Southwest. the trends show he's going to do very well. And I don't mean the historical trends. I mean the current day trends and what's going on ground. But in the Southwest, like Lagos and Oyo and Ekiti, if they put down Peter Obi as possible, I'd say that it makes sense. In the North, if they put down Peter Obi in places as possible, I'll say that it makes sense. But in the wildest imagination of this day newspaper, which I listened to the analysis of the polling by mainstream media on Channels TV and Arise TV, both this day newspaper and Channels TV and Arise TV didn't see the humor and how viewers were laughing when they had Peter Obi and Dati Ahmed in 3 or 4 states, maybe 5, in the Southeast and South side as possible to win. That's a joke. And the only reason they have Peter Obi and Dati Ahmed as possible to win in their own backyard and in the mainstay of their support in the country is because these people analyzing these things and taking these polls are talking to governors that are figureheads that people in the Southeast and South are sick and tired of their corruption and how they've been bought by PDP and APC to oppress their own people. You're looking at a Southeast that is being run over by irresponsible activities of agitation groups and Fulani herdsmen and sabotage policing by the federal government to the extent that the people are left bare and not protected. And you really think that they are going to vote for PDP or APC at the cost of a movement that is trying to change their plight and relieve their pains? It's the biggest joke that I've ever seen. And I bring that point up to tell the viewers and the people who are going to be voting, don't sit around and get discouraged by what's going on with your mainstream media. And those are the reasons why, whether you like me or not as a person, shows like ours, even though it's on social media, and we know that social media can be bogus a lot of times, but you've seen a series of my videos, and you know that Bold Talk on Allen TV is as serious as they come. We don't report bogus stuff. We don't make up stories. We bring facts to you. I might as well plug our products here. We have the TV show. We have a magazine. We need money to survive. All we seek from many of you is a minimal subscription of $50 a year. Don't get nervous. Not the subscribe you see on the TV screen. That's free subscription. Click subscribe and increase our numbers. It doesn't cost you a penny. But beyond that, we're also seeking a minimum of $50 subscriptions for 1 year, a 4-year subscription, preferably of $200. A sponsorship of whatever amount you want to send us, $1,000, $500, $2,000. I'm not ashamed to make that appeal, because when you watch Arise and channels and all those places, there are sponsors that are paying a lot of money to have them on air. We're not asking for a lot of money. All we're asking is a little to keep us going, because we bring you things that, with the little resources we have, sometimes I believe are better than what you get on Arise TV and channels. Now that's by the side. Let me continue on the theme of non-Southeastern support of the Obi movement, because to me that's a given. I'm focusing on support from across Nigeria, and this time I'm going to the Southwest. I'm going to play you a soundbite that I've played before, but I'll play a shorter segment of it, and it's from Afenifere and what they are saying about the Obi candidacy. And then I'll play you a rally, a 1,000,000-man march, I think in Abeokuta. And I'm playing these things to tell you that while the mainstream media and their cohorts are downplaying the Obi candidacy, the best they are now calling him is the third force. The people and great organizations like Afenifere are saying they are the only force, not the third force, the only force. APC and PDP are going to end up as also rans. The best they can do is send out surrogates to come out and talk trash. But Nigerians are not stupid. Let's listen to what a chieftain of Afenifere said about Peter Obi, and I'll play you the rally in our
presidency. If we want peace in Nigeria, if we want equity, if we want justice, if we want to be united, we are talking of rotation, we are talking of federal character. It has gone to the north, now to the south. Should you come to the south with the region that has had it, with Obasanjo with 8 years, Yemen Shibajo with 8 years as vice president, South has had it with Jonathan. The South is not part of Nigeria. To do that equity, you see, the stand of Afenifere is purely on principle. I am not in no animosity against Tinubu or anybody. If I'm going to be parochial, from Tinubu say, you're a bad man. I take pride that because I made him the governor, he became the president, fine. But right is right. And mind you, I want to tell the populace of Nigeria, until you do the politics of principle of issue, of equity, inclusiveness, you will never get anywhere in Nigeria.
ẹ wo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lèmi ẹgbẹ́lẹ̀ wà ẹgbọ́n tá à ń sọ o èdè ká mọ̀ wọ́n tá à ń ṣe Nàìjíríà yìí o ẹ̀mẹ́lẹ̀ ká sọ̀bọ̀ wá nu o gbogbo owó tá à ń gbà ó ti tó o ẹ̀sọ́ bá fún ilé òkè gbàgbà ẹ̀ náà jẹ́ Peter Obi obedient láti primary school mo ti máa ń kọ kéréré nke Obi kérékéké ní báyìí ó ti kọ Peter Obi let us vote for Peter Obi 2023 Peter Obi ní ká ẹ dìbò fún.
kí ló sọ fún àgbàdo wọn fọ iye lóko ẹ má ta ọmọ yìí fún 2,000 naira. Vote Peter Obi for competence. Vote Peter Obi for a better Nigeria. Vote for the future of the people. No one chop àgbàdo. No cassava. No yagba. No garri. No. 50 million youths.
Help me tell Peter Obi that if I didn't vote for him, may Almighty God deny me paradise. So what it means that I'm going to vote for him. Why I want to vote for Peter Obi is this. Peter Obi has taken a cue from Chief Obafemi Awolowo. When we talk of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, We are talking of education. We are talking of mass economic participation. That is what Peter Obi has been doing. I want Peter Obi, before God and man, to promise the cooperative movement, because out of every 10 family in Nigeria, 9 family will have 5 a cooperative. The cooperative movement want our bank, now called Polaris, which Central Bank wanted to sell to an individual, which should not be so. That bank was founded by Chief Oba family for the masses. And since Peter Obi is for the masses, please, Peter Obi, make a categorical statement that you will give us back the cooperative bank.
Okay, guys, you've heard what Afenifere's position is on the upcoming election and the only candidate they believe has the national interest at heart and the experience and the will to get the job done. I'm an Igbo person. Time after time, I've tried to appeal to people, non-Igbos, that my support for Peter Obi is not because he's an Igbo person. My support for Peter Obi is because I believe he's honest, he's well-intended, and he wants to fix our country. If Peter Obi becomes president and goes contrary to those expectations, I'll be his biggest critique. For an organization like Afenifere, which in my opinion is the most objective, most steadfast, most principled of all the parochial organizations that represent different ethnic groups in Nigeria, for them to say what they said, I would like to use as a challenge to their contemporaries in the Southeast and the North and the South and the Middle Belt. When Nigerian organizations, regardless of what tribe they come from, start to be objective in analyzing what's good for Nigeria and not tribal, our country will start blossoming. Afenifere has done this in the past, maybe not noticeable. Chief Obafemi Awolowo did many of this in the past, but the only times we noticed him was when he did things that are selfish in the benefit of Yorubas. But if you study what led him to be selfish, you see that he has tried and tried and tried to get it done the right way in the interest of the country, and he saw that it was falling on deaf ears, and he felt like, Tiwa ni Tiwa, I got to protect ours. There's nothing wrong with that. I salute the people at Afenifere, and I hope that they'll reach out to the other groups in the country and try to convince them on the need to be objective, regardless of what the position is. Ohaneze Ndigbo has not come out nationally with a loud bullhorn to give the Obidati movement the kind of ringing endorsement that they just got from Afenifere in that video. But maybe it's good, because Ohaneze Ndigbo is an Igbo group. Maybe they are trying to be in the background so that they don't come out and make it seem like they're supporting Peter Obi because he's an Igbo person. And to the rally that I showed you in Abeokuta, it almost brought tears to my eyes. And time after time after time, you've heard me say that Nigeria is at the crossroads. Our country is at the point of disintegration if we don't fix it and fix it in a hurry. And I've repeatedly said that this election is in the hands of Southwestern progressives. Southwestern progressives can change the direction of a people, not Nigerians, the black world. And they've done it before, and I know they'll do it again. I just mentioned the pride and joy I have about late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The last 22 years in the Southwest, the region has been hijacked. This is an opportunity to regain the legacy and the dream of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. I also want to, because I'm trying to make this short, I have other things I want to talk about. I'll leave them for other videos. But I cannot end this without talking directly to agitating groups across the country. IPOB, Boko Haram, whoever is the biggest agitators for Dudu State. I want to appeal to you that I honestly feel your pain. I honestly understand while the agitations are going on. I'll be remiss if I say there is no reason to agitate. But I'll also be quick to tell you that our country has never had the opportunity we have in 2023 to move the country in the direction that you were seeking and felt you couldn't get, that led you to agitating. But I also want you to put away pipe dreams and fantasies and be realistic. A perfect Biafra is not as good as a fair, equitably governed Nigeria, where we could put all our resources together, both human talent and natural resources, and build a giant of the world. A perfect Oduduwa state is not as good as an equitably run Nigeria, where what I said before applies. An Islamic nation, I'm talking to Boko Haram and the North, an Islamized Nigeria, if you succeed in what you tend to have been trying to do over the last few years, it's not as good as an equitably run Nigeria. As a matter of fact, an Islamized Nigeria only becomes Iraq or Afghanistan. As an Igbo person, there's a saying in Igbo language that nwatakịrị sị na nne ya agaghị arahụ ụra, ya nwa na onwe ya agaghị arahụ ụra. So if you achieve your Islamic Nigeria, to translate the proverb that I just gave you in Igbo, when a kid says that his mom is not gonna sleep, that kid is also not gonna sleep. So if you achieve your Islamic Nigeria, the fight goes on. You're gonna be killing the non-Islams and trying to force them to be Muslims. They're gonna be killing you, trying to get you off their back. So it's gonna be bloodshed. Let's all, in the interest of our children unborn, try to see if against all odds against the rigging machines of APC and against the money and bribery of PDP and the forces that come with them, that we elect a team in Obi and Dati Ahmed that's going to build a rainbow coalition of Nigerians from all parts of the country who are going to come together and build a nation that not only becomes the giant of Africa, but a giant seated at the table where the world powers are talking. Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of making this a short video, I'm going to end it here. But let me end it on this note. I'm going to sign off with one or two more videos, very short segments of rallies in Plateau State, in the north, in the heart of northern Nigeria, places where your mainstream media said Mr. Peter Obi doesn't have a chance. And I hope you, the listeners, put pressure on them to report fairly and factually about what's going on in Nigeria and be fair in who they call rowdy, because when the Obi people make their noise with their rallies, which is political, it's the right thing to do, they call them obnoxious. But when APC send out their bulldogs to talk trash, the mainstream media pretend it doesn't exist. Enjoy these few videos. Until next time, thank you very much. Please share, please subscribe. This is Fred Wankwe again, coming to you with Bold Talk on Allen TV. Until next time, good night.
This is a solid, obedient family. Hold on, Green. Nice, Abby. We not a beg them. We not a give shishi. We not a follow shishi. Now our conscience will follow. And our minds tell us that only one place we will go. And that place is where anybody where it says complete they go. Now movement. I don't belong to political party. I belong to political movement. Now movement today. We move! We